Hey folks, it's Egwin here from Beyond Systems. Today I'm gonna show you again a video out of the Developmental Movement Series. In this specific case we're talking about one of many different variations to sit down in such a way that it also trains your hip joints. Now obviously almost every way of sitting down involves the hip joints one way or the other. What we are going to do today is literally a sitting down and then allowing ourselves to drop to the side to also not just work in a flexing motion in the hip joints, but also a little bit in a rotational manner and in a side opening manner, so in an abduction and adduction manner. So we're going to work with adduction, abduction, with flexion, with extension, and so on. So that's basically it. So we're going to start in whatever standing position we are in. And instead of squatting straight down and bringing the arms down to the ground first, instead of doing something like that. So remember, we are still in the Developmental Movement Series, so we are partially still trying to think like baby movement patterns. And so why don't I go down with a completely straight back? There is a couple of reasons, also biomechanical reasons for that. If I'm gonna squat down like that, and I leave my body a little bit out in front, I have my center of gravity perfectly aligned in the middle of my thighs, in the middle of my lower leg, down into the foot, which is why I just chose this pattern to go down rather than a completely straight pattern that requires a lot more strength in the quads already, that challenges my ankle mobility much more, and so on. So basically it's literally from this position. That would be one version. Instead of doing something like that, we are going into a crisscrossed position with our feet today. So from here, we're literally gonna cross our legs like so and sit down from there. It's probably something you've seen before. I'm sure it's something you've seen before. It's definitely something you've done, probably decades ago. Still, right now it is something we are going to do again. So in this position, obviously, your hip opening is challenged. You need to use your hip rotation, you need to use your hip abduction, and you need to use the flexion of this whole thing. So what we do, it's very important here, just try that out. If you want, you can always go in such a way that you also, say, put a bolster underneath you or something like that, or a couple of yoga blocks, or maybe even just a log or something like that, where you don't have to sit all the way down to the ground. So really see that as a progressional movement exercise. If you want something underneath your buttocks, that will help you tremendously in such a way that you don't have to open the joints in that extent, which for some of you might be important at the beginning. And then obviously also change up the pattern, meaning cross before the other leg. Make sure that you stand on the outside edges of your feet right now. You don't have to force yourself for the whole plantar fascia or the whole sole to touch the ground. They can be just on the outside edges. And then again, allow yourself to drop down. You'll realize, obviously, your pelvis will start to slightly rotate out of the original position facing to the front. That's because the legs are in front or in rear of each other, and out of that position, then you can progress either to the left side or to the right side, back down into movement or crawling patterns, and so on and so on. So that's basically it for today. Just make sure to try that out. Try it out, as mentioned before, if you're not comfortable with moving down all the way, if you're not sure if you put in too much pressure on your knees or something like that, and just simply try it out with something underneath your buttocks before. And then of course, out of that pattern, it's almost a spiraling aspect that can bring you back up. So from here, you stand up all the way in the very same motion. All right. If there are any questions regarding that movement pattern, just let me know. Leave those questions in the comment box below. If you haven't checked out the rest of the Developmental Movement Series, do so. It's on the channel. Just subscribe, like and share if you want to. And if you want to check out and stay up to date with more of such movement play aspects. But as mentioned in the previous couple of videos, it's really all about relearning very basic fundamental movement patterns that are completely untainted and that no one ever showed you. So it's always a movement exploration, and it's taking you back to the foundation of how coordination and strength building in the human movement progression from a baby to an adult mover actually happens. If you have any more questions regarding that or the basic principles, again, leave them in the comment box below or hit me up on the website. Whatever, just stay in contact if you have questions, and if you say, what the hell, what are you talking about? Rather than going, well, I have no idea what this guy is talking about, just ask a question. I'm sure I can at least try to explain. Have a wonderful time, thanks for watching, and like, share and subscribe if you want to stay up to date. Have a wonderful day, hang loose, and see you soon. Bye.